This week we got UFC 322, Maddalena versus Makhachev, 170-pound belt on the line. There's some banger fights. Let's get into it. Getting right into the locks. First up, we got Islam Makhachev moneyline, minus 305. I think that this is just a lock of locks just because Islam Makhachev, I think he's just built different. People compare Maddalena's performance against Belal and saying that Belal struggled with the takedowns. He got so many reversals and he just pieced them up. And Islam isn't a striker. He's just a grappler. Islam is just straight up built different. He's different wrestling. He's a different breed. Comparing Belal and Islam is just a joke because Makhachev has just straight up not struggled really against anybody. He's just been running through people. His IQ is just better than everyone else's. I think that he'll be able to utilize his takedowns, probably find a submission. That would be my call. But the money line at 305, just give me flashbacks when Hazmat faced against DDP and everybody was like, oh, DDP, he's got that grit. But what did we see? People might say that he was boring, but what happened to DDP? He got absolutely destroyed. So Islam Makhachev, he'll get the takedowns. His IQ is out of this world, and he'll be able to get the win at bare minimum. I think that he'll submit him, but the money line at 305 is just looking too juicy. Next up is Susurkaev by inside the distance at minus 500. It is a bit bad, but minus 500, I feel like it's destined that he's going to finish this guy. This guy's already been finished 3 times before by knockout. Susurkaev, he has some really good boxing. He's got great wrestling. He's got great wrestling defense. I think that he should just be able to beat this guy everywhere. I mean, he's a minus 1,000, but to make it a little bit more pretty and a little bit more bettable, I'd say that inside the distance is just free money. I feel like he will KO him, and you'll probably KO him in the first round, but I think that he definitely could drop him and maybe find a submission. I think he's a bit just having a good time, goofing around. He got a submission in his last fight. I'd say that just the inside the distance, minus 500, is really juicy, even though it's just like crazy big odds. I feel like you can parlay with any of these locks realistically, but Susurkaev inside the distance, I feel like it's just a no-brainer. Next up, we got Weili Zhang versus Shevchenko as the co-main event going to decision. I feel like the odds on this is way too low. At minus 250, I feel like this is just great odds. Both of them are just championship level grit, championship level IQ, and I think that I just find it really hard for any of them to get finished. Neither of them have been finished many times, so I'd say that both of them are gritty enough, tough enough to survive against each other. I see this going to decision every time, other than like a fluke knockout. I don't see any submissions happening here. So minus 250 is a lock of locks in my opinion. Then we got Tracy Cortez versus Aaron Blanchfield going to decision at minus 400. I think that this is pretty safe as well. Both of them aren't crazy finishers. Cortez is definitely not a finisher at all. Aaron Blanchfield has a submission threat, but I feel like Cortez has good enough wrestling to stuff the takedowns or stuff enough takedowns, not be able to get controlled on the ground as much. I think that this fight is really close. Decision, I feel like, is a lock. All 4 of these, I feel like you can parlay all 4 combined. Pick your favorite 2. I know all these 4 are going to be hitting, so. Next up, we got value. Sean Brady at minus 135. I mean, he is against Michael Morales. He is the up-and-comer, but I think Sean Brady is just really underrated here. I think the value on him is really good just because he's coming off a submission win against Leon Edwards, and people might be off the Leon Edwards train and saying that he's old and he's washed and he never was that good, but I think that just the takedowns that he had, and Morales, his ground game is so unknown. And I'm just going to back that Brady is just tough enough, strong enough to be able to get the takedowns. I think that he will definitely struggle, and he possibly could get knocked out, especially him getting knocked out by Belal. So if he's not able to get this fight to the ground, he's probably getting knocked out just because Morales has some crazy power. But I feel like he'll be able to get the takedowns. Minus 135, I feel like is a great line for him. I think that he should be a higher favorite, and that's why we have him here. Next up, we got Dariush at plus 150. I feel like these are great odds just because he's not getting taken down. So the only way that I feel like St. Denis can win is by knocking out Dariush, and definitely is possible just because he is chinny, he is getting older. He got the athleticism advantage for Denis. But I feel like Dariush, he'll probably be able to get the takedowns. He got the takedowns against Moicano. Dariush beat Moicano, and Moicano just absolutely destroyed Benoit. I feel like the game plan for Dariush is pretty simple. Get the takedowns and just control him on the ground. Possibly look for a finish, but I don't think that Dariush has enough power to get the submission here. I feel like Benoit is going to be strong enough to be able to survive. But Dariush at plus 150, I don't know. I feel like if Benoit isn't KOing Dariush is going to win by decision. So Next up, we got Bo Nickel money line minus 205. The only reason I have him here, he is fraudulent, and you know what? He did just come off a really bad loss. The hype train just went derailed so bad, but minus 205, I feel like he should win, realistically. He's got way more potential. We've seen Vieira. Vieira really isn't the best striker. I mean, he's got okay striking, but we know that what he's best at, and that's his jiu-jitsu. And Bo Nickel might be scared to get the takedowns against him, but I honestly think that Bo Nickel is a better striker than Vieira, and I just feel like he might just lock in a little bit better in this fight. He's just coming off a loss. And everybody's off his hype train. I feel like he is going to want to like have a good comeback win against Vieira, maybe possibly like KO him. And I feel like the potential at minus 205 for Bo Nickel, I mean, he was like minus 2,000, minus 1,000 every single fight, and now he's at minus 205. I feel like the potential value on Bo Nickel is really good because he might be fraudulent. He might not be as good as people were thinking, but I think that he lost to DeRitter, that guy. People are already off his train as well after his loss against Brendan Allen, but I'd say Ritter is one of the top guys, and Bo Nickel isn't as experienced, so he just crumbled. And I don't think Vieira is going to make him gas out like that because Vieira has gassing problems of his own, so he's definitely not getting a takedown against Bo Nickel. So I think Bo Nickel's going to be able to do whatever he wants, or at least that's how I think it should play out. Next up, we got Carlos Prates by KO. I think that this is just a must bet because Carlos Prates, he's just got that crazy aura, got that crazy power. I feel like he can knock out anybody. He's got so many tools in his belt, but honestly, the knees are just going to be absolutely brutal. And I think that Leon Edwards should definitely have a wrestling game plan in this fight because that's probably how he's going to win if he wins. I don't see him outpointing Prates on the feet. Prates is one of the best strikers in the division. He doesn't get the takedowns. He's probably going to get KO'd. Leon Edwards, I don't think he's got the same footwork as Gary. And even Gary, as good a footwork he has, he still ended up getting cracked in the 5th round. Prates by KO is a lot better than his money line just because I think that if he does win, he's probably going to KO him. I think this is a pretty good value. And then next up, short notice fight for Wellmaker. He was supposed to fight Cody Haddon, then another guy stepped up on short notice. Ewing, I don't think he's good enough. Wellmaker straight up has that aura that he is going to be a really good contender in the division. I'd say that he's got crazy power, one punch power. So the money line at minus 455, I think that they maybe didn't look at those odds. I don't know how they placed that at minus 455. I feel like those are great odds. And then round 1 KO at plus money, I feel like he's just going to one punch this guy early. I feel like this is probably another must bet. Last up, we got Sprinkle. I feel like round 1 KO by Susurkaev. It might not happen in round 1, but I think that he's going to finish him and KO him early just because this guy is hittable. I feel like he won't be able to get the takedowns, and he's just going to get swarmed with the body kicks. I feel like his teep down the middle is just going to piece him up, and I think that he's just going to KO him early realistically, but he likes to have a little fun with it, so that's why I say a little Sprinkle. But at minus 135, I feel like he's just going to piece him up. He's just levels above him on the feet, on the ground, so he's going to swarm him. Next up, we got Dariush by decision at plus 450. I feel like this is just great odds. I feel like just put a couple cheeky bucks on the line, and I feel like it probably will hit. Maybe if you think that Benoit is going to win, I'd bet the Benoit by KO, but I think that Dariush is going to be able to get the takedowns. He's going to neutralize Benoit. He's going to tire him out, and I think that he's just going to lay and pray on top and get the decision win. So at plus 450, I feel like is great odds. Next up, we got Zepatini money line at minus 118. I'd say that this is pretty damn good just because Mariscal, I feel like they've already fought before, and I believe Mariscal actually won. This is a couple years back, but I'd say Mariscal has been seen with staff, and I feel like that is going to take a toll on his cardio. Zabatini has leveled up in his ground game. That win against Brito and the way he was able to control him just really showed that his game has evolved, and I think that he's possibly even live for a submission here. But the money line at almost even odds, I'd say that he doesn't have staff. I think he's got way improved wrestling from last time that they fought, and I think that he's just got amazing control. So Zabatini money line, I feel like is a really good sprinkle. Maybe parlay it with some other plus money stuff. and have a little fun with it, but I think that he will win. Last up, we got Tracy Cortez by decision at plus 275. I feel like this is a really close fight against Blanchfield. It's all dependent on if Cortez can stuff the takedowns or maybe even get some takedowns of her own, but I think that she'll be the better striker here, or at least the more composed striker. Blanchfield has that dog in her, but I feel like she definitely lacks a little bit on the skill side, but Cortez, I feel like this is an even matchup between the two. Easily could go either way, but Cortez, I mean, she's plus 220 on her own, so maybe money line might be better than decision, but I also just don't think that this fight is going anywhere other than decision. So Cortez by decision at plus 275, I feel like is pretty good odds, pretty good value as well. So that's going to be my locks, value, and sprinkle on UFC 322, Maddalena versus Makhachev. This is going to be a great card. I'm excited. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. Good luck with your guys' bets. Don't forget to cash in.